Right. All set? So we will start with our first chapter of physics. Okay. And we will start with force and pressure. हम force के chapter को पढ़ेंगे आज. ठीक है? मजा आएगा आपको. And you have any question? No need to open the textbook. ये textbook यहाँ class में you bring it to class only if you are reading. See how to study. I'll teach you the concept. Then you go back home, watch the video, and again you read your textbook. In the textbook, if you have a problem, then only next day bring the textbook. साइंस टेक्स्टबुक लाने की जरूरत नहीं है मेरे क्लास में. जिस दिन जरूरत होगा मैं बोल दूंगा, वरना ये आपका लोड बढ़ेगा. बट यस, आज जो पढ़ाया, यू रीड ऑल दीज थिंग्स एट होम, एंड देन सपोज सम लाइन यू फील दैट आई डिड नॉट टीच और यू डिड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड, तो उसको मार्क करके आप ले आइए. अदरवाइज आई ऑल्सो हैव अ टेक्स्ट बुक हियर. सो बोझ लाने की जो लाने की जरूरत है, मैंने आपको बोला था. 12 इंच स्केल, यू नो व्हाट इज 12 इंच? 30 सेंटीमीटर, जिससे हमें पीटा जाता था, सैशिंग स्केल. एंड वन रेड पेन एंड वन ब्लू पेन. एक रेड पेन रखिए, एक ब्लू पेन रखिए, हमें ब्लू और ब्लैक विथ व्हाटएवर यू राइट, एंड कीप अ रेड पेन आल्सो, बिकॉज रेड पेन्स आर वेरी एसेंशियल टू अंडरस्टैंड ड्राइंग्स एंड डायग्राम्स. ठीक है, चलें शुरू करें. ओके, चलो, वेरी गुड. आई स्टार्ट विद आवर चैप्टर कॉल्ड फोर्स एंड प्रेशर. और ये साइंस कैन नॉट बी अंडरस्टूड चुपचाप. इसमें what you call interaction is very important. Okay, so force and pressure. So we will be studying initially with force. डिस्कशन बहुत जरूरी है. कोई भी सृष्टि, अभी, आर्यश, ऑल ऑफ यू, बेटो एक छोटा रिक्वेस्ट है. आप जब क्लास में आएंगे ना, I have told his mom also, avoid a thick copy in the class. These are beautiful copies. Do not waste, because you will be taking class notes. Class notes will have little bit of scribbling. In class, come with a thinner copy. When you go back home, then use this copy to do your, जैसे मैंने आपको अभी, we will start with rational numbers. तो rational numbers RS अग्रवाल के पहला एक्सरसाइज पूरा सुंदर से इसमें करके रखिए. दूसरा, इसे क्लास में मत लाइए. क्लास में इससे या इससे भी थोड़ा पतला कॉपी होगा तो और बेहतर है. समथिंग लाइक व्हाट अनन्या इज कैरिंग इज अ बेस्ट साइज. हाँ, ये लाना है, एक स्केल लाना है, और 2 पेन होना चाहिए आपके पास.
Sir, I wonder, is it okay if we maintain one thick notebook like this one for all the homeworks you have given?
There is no relevance to that question. Don't ask those questions. Ma'am, shall we write the full sentence in fill in the blanks or only the blank word? Don't ask a question just because you have to ask a question. You are going to be my headache in the class. I have understood till class 10. By class 10, either you will become a pandit or I will become a donkey. We both cannot be pandit. That is clear to me. You understood what I said? You will just come with a thin copy. It's easy for you to carry rather than carrying so much of books. एक thin copy, वो जो तुम लाए हो वो काफी है, वो काफी बुक है. ठीक है. और what Ritisha is carrying, that is also fine. Don't, मोटा किताब को खराब मत करो आप. ठीक है. और इसको आप यूज कर सकते हो. आपको पेजेस चाहिए, मैं दे दूं, मेरे पास एक्स्ट्रा पेजेस है. नहीं तो ये नया किताब तुम खराब करोगे. गिव मी अ ब्रेक चिल्ड्रन, 1 मिनट. मुझे खराब लगता है, वो खराब करोगे तुम अभी. यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन? And next I will bring one band-aid and I'll put it on your lips. Any further question? इसमें लिख लो, इसको लेके जाके अपने कॉपी में लिख लेना. राइट. सो फोर्स. Have you heard about this term? Unless and until we discuss, science doesn't become interesting. Have you heard about force? Please don't force me to wake up early in the morning. I love to sleep. Any other way? Force? पोषण पुल, ये सब किताबी बातें करना शुरू कर दे. External pressure? Pressure is completely a different topic. That's why the chapter is force and pressure. I am asking you, define ghost. You are saying ghost and man. Man is completely different from ghost. Pressure and force are two different. Any idea about force? Force. How did you enter my house? By pushing the door. Let's start from there. Okay. You entered my house. So there was a door, and this was the knob which you saw from outside. And you, some of you might have come happily, some might come angrily. I am assuming you were not happy to come to my house, but your parents sent you. So you gave what is known as a force. Do you understand? Thick. Suppose I would have heard your footsteps. I would have heard your footsteps. Now this is the front side of my house. And then, like they show in movies, two scenes together. This is the inside of my house. And I was here. I would think, wow, little kiddos will be coming. I would have pulled the door this side. Do you understand? You gave something which is called a push. I did something which is a pull. In both the cases, from your side you saw the door going this side. From my side I saw the door coming. Is this diagram understood or not? Right? ये दरवाजा तब तक नहीं खुलता जब तक आप धक्का नहीं मारते आप, और ये दरवाजा तब तक नहीं खुलता जब तक मैं अंदर से नहीं खींचता. धक्का means push, खींचना means pull. Have you understood? Next, one more disturbance to me on the front row. Either you are going back or you are going out of the house. And what is this for? Making what? Fitters. You improve yourself. Okay. So, because if my mood goes out of a toss, all of them should actually, scold you. They have done no fault, and those 4 children online have done no fault. Just because of you, my mood should not go over a toss. So this is called a push and a pull. Now see, when a push and pull is happening, how many bodies are interacting? If we take this door as body 1, and then you are body 2. Do you agree? Here, if the door is body 1, then here I am body 2. Are you getting a little bit idea about force right now? तो फोर्स कहां पे लग रहा है? फोर्स यहां पे लग रहा है. एक बार फोर्स ऐसे लग रहा है, एक बार फोर्स ऐसे लग रहा है. Like you were saying, force means push and pull, force means push and pull. So as you go higher in classes, you will be expected to write definitions. But what way we write definitions is that we will be learning so many chapters and so many topics. Every definition will not be in our mind. We should be able to make mind maps. Mind maps means keywords, right? So if I look at force, I am writing some keywords. I am writing number 1. One keyword I find is, if there is a force, some push or pull is happening. Don't you agree? Try to understand. हाँ, यहाँ पे कुछ भी चीज समझ में नहीं आएगा, आप पूछना लेकिन, ठीक है? बढ़िया. Number 2, there is an interaction between two bodies. Do you agree? Two bodies, right? And number 3, this force is either acted upon a body, or should I write? I should write it in this manner. I should change my English here. I should write, the force is either exerted. You know the meaning of the word exerted? I push RS, the force has been exerted on RS. Either exerted on one body or felt by another body. देखो तो समझ में आ रहा है? तो अब फोर्स को अगर हम इंग्लिश में बात करें, अभी व्हाट इज फोर्स? सो विल से अ फोर्स इज बेसिकली एन इन्फ्लुएंस. ये एक तरह का इन्फ्लुएंस है. कैसा इन्फ्लुएंस? लाइक इफ यू मिक्स अप विद गुड, एज अ गुड बॉय, इफ यू मिक्स अप विद अ गुड बॉय, तुम्हारे अंदर अच्छी बातों का इन्फ्लुएंस आता है. खराब लड़के से मिलोगे, सारा दिन गाली गलौज सीखोगे. तो दैट्स कॉल्ड इन्फ्लुएंस. इट्स एन इन्फ्लुएंस. एंड I'll write an adjective before it. What is an adjective? What is an adjective?
Sir,
Yes.
a word you should describe it now.
What is an example?
Um,
Like you, boy, naughty boy. What type of boy? Naughty boy. What type of boy? Disturbing boy. So disturbing is the adjective. So similarly we say, what type of influence? External influence. बाहर से एक influence हुआ. किसके ऊपर? इस दरवाजे के ऊपर। किसने किया? इस आदमी ने किया। सो अ फोर्स इज एन एक्सटर्नल इन्फ्लुएंस that is caused that is an interaction between two bodies. A force is an external influence which causes an interaction between two bodies, the outcome of which is either push or pull on a body. How you see it? Push and pull is not that difficult. See, if I push Ananya, that's because I am seeing it from this side. Ananya is getting pushed. But on the same side, just ऐसे सोचो, just think like this. Say suppose on a table you have got a block. You apply force from this side. So if you are viewing this whole magic from this side, then what do you call? You say you are pushing it. Do you agree? If you view from this side, is it not pushing it? Yes. अगर आप इस साइड से व्यू करेंगे तो आपको कैसा लगेगा बोलो तो? As if the body is pulled. Push or pull is only about which side of the window or viewing window are you. एक तरफ से जो push हो रहा है वो दूसरे तरफ से pull हो रहा है. समझ में आ रहा है ना? So force is an external influence which is caused due to an interaction. It's an external influence caused due to interaction between two bodies, and then it will result in either a push or pull which is either exerted on one body or felt by another body, which the impact of which we see is that either push or pull. फिर से समझते हैं. फोर्स क्या है? एक एक्सटर्नल इन्फ्लुएंस है. कैसे होता है? दो बॉडियों का इंटरेक्शन होना बहुत जरूरी है. दो बॉडीज के इंटरेक्शन पे एक एक्सटर्नल इन्फ्लुएंस होता है. पुश, बाल पकड़ के खींच लो. पुल, अंडरस्टूड? Result is what? Result is the force will be either exerted on one body or will be felt, exerted by. Suppose I am pulling him, so I am exerting the force. He is the recipient of force, so he will feel that the force is being felt by him, or it will be felt by another. In either case, the outcome will be either a push or pull. इतना समझ में आया? Clear? If now anybody tells you that discuss about force, will you be able to discuss definitions and all? The book will tell you much better. See, my issue is I always want children to understand the mind map. A force is an external influence which is caused due to the interaction of two bodies. Force के लिए दो bodies का होना बहुत जरूरी है, बहुत जरूरी. ठीक है ना? समझ में आया? अभी बहुत सारे हंसी मजाक के एग्जाम्पल दूंगा उसमें. ऐसे इंटरेक्शन होने के बाद there is an external influence, और ये influence क्या करता है? फाइनली आउटकम होगा पुश और पुल. इस पुश और पुल को करने में either one body will be exerting the force and the other body will be receiving the force. So the body who actually exerts the force on another body either exerted on one body. So if I am exerting the force on him, I am the actor, and if he is feeling the force, he is the recipient. Clear? समझ में आया? वहां क्लियर हुआ? क्योंकि हम लोग फोर्स को सी व्हेन somebody asks you, Hannah, have you understood? Clear? Hannah? If anybody tells you what is a force, it's very easy to say only push and pull. लेकिन चीज को विस्तृत में डिटेल करके सुंदर से बताना चाहिए. पुश एंड पुल तो सही, लेकिन कैसे? Two bodies, they must have an interaction. Sir, can you give an example? Today while coming to my house, you were one body and the door was another body. There was an interaction between you two, as a result of which someone exerted force on the other. You were the actor, you exerted force on the door, and the door was the recipient. It resulted in a push. And say suppose my door was transparent and I had seen that Shristi is coming. Before she came, I would have opened the door. Again interaction. Now I am the actor, door is again the recipient, but this time what is happening? It is a pull which is being resulted. कोई शक? How is the Jewish? Very low. ठीक है? तो ऐसा बनाओ यार आदमी. जब तक डायग्राम नहीं बनता है तब तक कोई फिजिक्स सीखता नहीं है. ठीक है? आइए इसको रब कर सकता हूं तो क्लास तो इज गेटिंग रिकॉर्डेड, सो डोंट वरी. इसे रब करो. आओ थोड़ा और आगे देखते हैं. एंड लेट मी यूज सम मोर स्केल ड्राइंग नाउ. ठीक है, थोड़ा और देखते हैं. लेट्स से ओके, लेट अस से दिस इज अ टेबल एंड ऑन माय टेबल से सपोज आई हैव अ ब्लॉक. तो पूछ रहे थे ना इसका यूज क्या है, ये ना फास्ट हो जाता है. ये पूछ रहा था. सो दिस इज अ टेबल, ठीक है। टेबल को जनरली हम लोग इंजीनियरिंग ड्राइंग में ऐसे दिखाते हैं, दिस इज सरफेस, राइट, और यू कैन से दैट दिस इज अ प्लेटफॉर्म। सो let us make it properly, right। कुछ और चीजें सीखते हैं अभी यहाँ पे। So what all things you have? This is my object and this is my platform, okay? So I'm writing it. Whenever you label a figure, have the habit of labeling it with block letters right from now. This is a platform. Diagram should be beautiful and nice to look at, and this is your block. ये आपका एक block है, block of wood, ठीक है? And forces are best shown by arrows. Let's say we try to show a force out here. अब मैंने इस पे एक force लगाया, इतना डायग्राम आप बना लीजिए, फिर बाकी बात करेंगे। So this is my force. ठीक है, क्लियर, समझ में आया? अब कुछ चीजें सीखेंगे इसमें, बुक में हो ना हो हमें उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है, ये टू लर्न साइंस। ये पॉइंट को देखिए, दिस पॉइंट, ठीक है, इस पॉइंट का एक नाम होगा और यहां पे मैंने ऐसे आई हैव मेड सम डॉटेड लाइन। सो अंडरस्टैंड, दिस पॉइंट इज से P. P is known as the point of application of force, ठीक है। Children online, are you able to read the board, Bitus? Or do you want me to write a bit bigger? My handwriting is bad, very unclean. Okay, good. Point of application of force, and this particular is known as the line of action. ये जानना आपके लिए जरूरी है, लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ फोर्स। ये बना लीजिए, फिर बात करते हैं इसके ऊपर। लाइन ऑफ एक्शन, बोरिंग बोरिंग, अनन्या को बोर्ड लग गया है, अच्छा। This point of application is very essential for us to understand. हम जब फोर्स की बात करते हैं ना, फोर्स एक पॉइंट पे लगता है। जैसे मेरे घर पे घुसते वक्त आपने कहां पे फोर्स लगाया था? डोर के नॉब पे लगाया था। तो दिस इज द पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स, है ना, और ये है पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स। Usually whenever a force will be exerted, see, try to see the beauty of it. Whenever a force is exerted, the point of application will move along the direction of the force. जरा सोचो, देखो कितना अच्छा चीज है। मेरे घर पे घुसते वक्त अनन्या ने पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन को पकड़ के किस तरफ पुश किया? इस तरफ पुश किया। पॉइंट किधर गया? फोर्स के डायरेक्शन पे जाएगा हमेशा। या फिर अगर मैं घर के अंदर रहता, इफ आई वुड हैव बीन इनसाइड द हाउस, आई वुड हैव टेकन द पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन एंड पुल्ड इट टुवर्ड्स माई सेल्फ। सो द पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स, दिस वन, ऑलवेज मूव्स along the direction of force. अच्छा, डायरेक्शन में for short I have written DIREC to the power n. I am elder, so I am allowed to write. You are younger, you please write the full word. This is the line of action. Clear? ठीक है, धीरे धीरे और छोटा डायग्राम बनाना सीखिए। बोलो, हाँ बिल्कुल लेना। तो धीरे धीरे ये वाला डायग्राम मिटा देता हूं, ठीक है। Anyone who has not understood anything so far we have just discussed about force. We said force is an external influence which is an outcome due to the interaction of two bodies, and as a result of which the outcome will be felt either as a push or a pull on that body on which the force is exerted upon. So one body will exert the force and the other body will feel the force. So the feeling will be either as a push or as a pull. Further, we went and we discussed about a platform on which a block is kept, just to illustrate how force acts. So when force acts, the force will always act on a point. That point is known as the point of application, and the point of application always moves along the direction of force. And also we have learned something about line of force, which I'll discuss. Are you done? इतना slow drawing बनाने से सारा क्लास में एक ही ड्राइंग होगा. आगे बढ़े. Line of action. Line of action is something like, if the force is thought to be as an arrow, अगर इसको हम एक तीर समझ लें, arrow समझ लें, so in which direction will the arrow travel? The arrow is traveling in this direction. Have you understood? Suppose somebody puts a force on me right here, on my head like this, and pushes. So what is the line of action? The line of action is this. You don't expect the force to be felt on my stomach or on my thighs. Do you understand? The force is always felt along the line of action.
Basically like a focus.
Yeah.
Straight line.
Yes. Very good. So the line of action determines in which direction the force is acting upon. या अनन्या बोलो बेटा कुछ पूछना है? ठीक है? इतना क्लियर हुआ? ठीक है. अब एक और बात करते हैं. Whenever we talk about force, see, whenever we talk about force, then this is a physical quantity. Sir, what do you understand by physical quantity? All the quantities that we study in physics, say for example length, area, volume, temperature, all these are known as physical quantities. So force is a physical quantity. If force is a physical quantity, our desire will be that we would like to measure force. Yes or no? We would like to measure force. If you want to measure force, then you must associate something which is known as a numeric value with it. Let's say, sir, I still did not understand. Give an example. Let us say the age of Atreya. Age is a quantity. If we want to measure age, we have to give some numerical value. 11 years, 12 years. कुछ age तो numeric value देना पड़ेगा. And once you give a numeric value, the numeric value should be followed with something which is known as unit. We went to buy something which is very favorite in summers. What is this? आम. आम का दाम क्या है? Sir, 150 क्या? Rupees. ये यूनिट हुआ, ये उसका वैल्यू हुआ. Whenever you give a measurement of something, you have to give a numeric value and a unit. अंडे लेके आओ, get eggs. How many? 1 dozen. 1 is the numeric value, dozen is the unit. Get me a pair of slippers. Pair is the unit, 1 is the numeric value. So that is called a measured value. Now, when we talk in physics, this numeric value has got a very nice name. We call this as magnitude. What do we call it? Magnitude. ये सब धीरे धीरे समझना सीखो. Magnitude. My last birthday party, yeah? Hello? Sorry, I can't allow you in the class today. We are half an hour late. The class is at 7. I'm very particular with it. Right. So, sorry. This is known as magnitude. Magnitude stands for the gamut. My last birthday party was a birthday party of very big magnitude. Big magnitude मतलब बहुत खर्चा किया, बहुत सारे लोग आए थे. This year I became 1 year elder. So some realization came in my mind. My birthday party this year is a birthday party of smaller magnitude. Do you understand? Greater is the magnitude, greater is the value. Let's compare the weight of this particular marker pen and the weight of this tube light. The weight of the marker pen is of smaller magnitude as compared to the weight of the tube light. तो magnitude क्या बताता है? Magnitude बताता है कोई चीज का value कितना बड़ा है. Mass नहीं, कोई चीज का value. Your age and my age, किसका magnitude ज्यादा है? मेरा. Unless and until I am born in leap year. तो फिर मेरे age को 4 से divide कर दो ना. Leap year means my birthday is happening only once in 4 years. In 20 years of my life, my age should be only 5 years. छोटा सा बच्चा. Why? मेरा birthday 29 February है. Come on. If I had a birthday on 2000, my next birthday is on 2004. You had 4 birthdays. I had only. ऐसा. So do you understand? Magnitude मतलब बड़ा, कोई भी चीज का magnitude बड़ा मतलब, so if you have one इंसान, that is human being, and you have one demon or राक्षस, राक्षस का magnitude बड़ा होता है इंसान. अभी समझ में आ गया magnitude क्या है? Magnitude does not mean mass. Magnitude मतलब कोई भी measured value, अगर वो value बड़ा है तो magnitude बड़ा है. Understood? Let's take two numbers. Okay, just for example, in mathematics, -3 versus 2, किसका magnitude बड़ा है? 2. बस तुम लोग समझ गए हो, और समझाने की जरूरत नहीं है.
So 2, the magnitude can be like any unit, like liters, kilograms, mass, anything.
Magnitude means the value. Got
It
it?
can be like 8 magnitude. Or is it just need to compare two quantities?
This is me. Do you understand? A human being. I have a level of patience. Don't estimate me to be something like a musical instrument which is like this called guitar, and there will be 6 strings out here which will go on plucking ting dang ting dang ting dang, because after some time one of my wire will break loose, and if it breaks loose, you just saw what I did. You want that to be repeated with you?
No, sir, I'm actually.
No, you want that to be repeated with you? Yes or no?
No, sir, I'm actually saying.
No. If your question has value, I will honor the question. If the question is nonsense, I will not honor it. Right now, you are asking a nonsense question. Have you understood? So don't ask that. Right? Clear? So we should have a magnitude and we should have a unit. Now let's say one example. Now force, the unit of force is named after the great scientist Sir Isaac Newton. The unit of force is Newton. Write it. ये आपको पूछ सकता है exam में. Newton, and it is expressed as N. N. Newton N. जैसे मीटर्स को M लिखते हैं, सेंटीमीटर्स को CM लिखते हैं, किलोमीटर्स को स्मॉल k और M लिखते हैं, उसी तरह न्यूटन को N लिखते हैं. Is this clear? Very good. तो अब तक बहुत कुछ पढ़ लिया आपने. क्या क्या पढ़ा? What is force? Push and pull happens due to interaction between two bodies. Outcome is either a push or a pull. One body will be the body who will exert the force. One body will be the body who will feel the force. Feeling body is known as recipient. The body which is doing is known as the actor who is causing the force. और हमने क्या पढ़ा? Force, the unit of force is called Newton, and force, like any other physical quantity, should have a magnitude and a unit. तो magnitude तो हमने दे दिया, so unit हमने दे दिया. So suppose for example, please apply a force of 5 Newton. So we write, please apply a force, and we have named this force as F. Say this is our force, right? This force is F, and how much is F equal to? F is equal to 5 Newton. We write it like this, 5 Newton, just like you write 5 meters. N को लेकिन small letter में मत लिखना बेटा, wrong हो जाएगा. N is written in capital letter. Has everyone understood this?
Yes.
5 Newton. अब थोड़ा फिर मजाक किया जाए. ये चीज समझ में आया? सो इस फोर्स का मैग्नीट्यूड कितना है? सर इस फोर्स का मैग्नीट्यूड मींस द मेजर्ड वैल्यू. मैग्नीट्यूड इज 5 न्यूटन. इज दिस सफिशिएंट टू डिफाइन दिस फोर्स? अब सवाल आता है, इफ आई टेल यू प्लीज एक्सर्ट अ फोर्स ऑफ 5 न्यूटन टू ओपन द डोर. क्या बोला मैंने? प्लीज एक्सर्ट अ फोर्स ऑफ 5 न्यूटन टू ओपन माई डोर. Do you think this is sufficient information to open the door? Why not?
Sir,
तुम हाथ मत उठाकर, स्कूल नहीं है, जो बोलना है ऐसे ही बोलो.
sir, you don't know where the point of the door, sir.
Where's the point?
Can it be the door? So like right now, if you're putting the pressure on the door, if you put it on the top of the door, it won't open.
Very good. So let's take one more example on that. Can I rub this portion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see. This is a mischievous boy. What? Mischievous boy of our days. In short, हिंदी में हम इसे बोलते हैं बेशरम लड़का. This boy does not have any prestige. ये जैसा भी डांटो, Skin has become like that of a rhinoceros. You have seen the skin of rhinoceros? वैसे ना गेंडे का चमड़ा है, कुछ भी बोलो असर ही नहीं होता है. इस लड़के को हमने सुधारने की बहुत कोशिश की, पर ये लड़का सुधरा नहीं. So what we did, we designed a robot. एक रोबोट बनाया, रोबोट ऐसा एक रोबोट बनाया, और ये रोबोट का नाम है स्लैपू. इसका काम है इसके गाल में टपास करके चाटा मारना. ठीक है. दिस रोबोट हैज बीन डिजाइंड एंड द रोबोट इज सपोज टू स्लैप दिस वन. वी हैव डिजाइंड इट, टेस्टिंग वेस्टिंग सब हो गया, इसको थप्पड़ मारने का है. वी नाउ नीड टू प्रोग्राम द रोबोट. हमने रोबोट को प्रोग्राम किया. रोबोट इज आस्किंग मी प्लीज एंटर द फोर्स. वी से 5 न्यूटन, मतलब 5 न्यूटन के जोर से थप्पड़ मारो. रोबोट कंफ्यूज हो गया. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, रोबोट सेज लेफ्ट चेक राइट चेक. राइट चेक. Should I use left hand, right hand? Right hand. Clockwise swing or anti-clockwise swing? Clockwise swing. Please mention the degree. 30 degree. 30 degree. Please enter the count of slaps. So we say n, where n is equal to infinity. Wow. तो ये रोबोट कैसा करेगा? टॉप 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 मारते रहेगा, है ना. अब आप सोचो, जब हमने 5 न्यूटन दिया था, it was not sufficient to define the force. We needed something more. That something more was direction. ये जो पूरा कहानी आपके लिए बनाया ना, ये अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए कि to define force, magnitude is not enough. Sir, why do you say so? Sir, I am a big idiot guy. What I do, instead of applying force, I applied the force from this direction. That can also be 4 or 5 Newton. कोई तो रोक नहीं सकता है ना, correct? So when you define force, it's not about defining only magnitude. You should also say direction. So can we now make our F something better? We write, please put 5 Newton east. अब गलत नहीं हो सकता है. जैसे इस रोबोट को बोला था, इतना सारा डायरेक्शन दिया था, नहीं तो रोबोट पगला हो गया ना. किसको मारू? Understood? Now try to think all forces that you are doing from your start of the day. डोर को पुल किया, डायरेक्शन है हमारी तरफ. इस ऐसे नहीं, डोर को नहीं खोलना था, डोर को खोलना नहीं था, डोर को ओपन करना था. Think about everything. Frying pan. Frying pan में we are making some omelette or something. We are supposed to lift the frying pan. Force should be upwards. You are standing. The force is exerted on the ground downwards. Just see. हाँ, नॉर्थ लिखेंगे. और अगर ऐसे उसके लिए ऐसा सोचो, ऐसा ले लो. अगर आप इस डायरेक्शन में फोर्स दोगे तो ये ईस्ट है, इधर दोगे तो वेस्ट, इधर दोगे तो नॉर्थ, इधर दोगे साउथ, इधर देंगे तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट, इधर देंगे तो नॉर्थ वेस्ट, इधर देंगे तो साउथ वेस्ट, इधर देंगे तो साउथ ईस्ट. Which one? सामने माने इधर पुल करोगे, ये ऊपर इज नॉर्थ. 3D में हमेशा नॉर्थ है. सोच लो, तुम ही सोच लो, तुम्हारे बालों को खींच के ऊपर खींचना है, नॉर्थ. नॉर्थ. चलते चलते किसी की पैंट उतर गई, साउथ. जस्ट थिंक. फोर्स इस साइड से कोई खींच के ले गया ईस्ट, तो इस साइड से खींचेगा तो वेस्ट. बेस्ट एग्जांपल, यू गाइस अर्ली मॉर्निंग in Pebble City, how does it happen? It must be happening in Hannah's society also. Till late night, you know, Hannah, these boys can play basketball, volleyball, they know the entire campus. But when it is tomorrow morning, they just don't know anything. And mummy and papa are pulling the boy's face is like this, and he is going to the bus stand. Force. So you are going this side. Water bottle with mother, bag with father. रात को लेकिन 10 बजे वॉलीबॉल खेल के वो लड़का आ गया घर, अगले दिन बस स्टैंड नहीं पता, है ना. फोर्स. फ्रंट क्यों जाएगा नॉर्थ में? आप अपने एक्सिस को सोचो ना. अगर आपको ऊपर दिखाना है तो हम नॉर्थ ऊपर वाइज दिखाते हैं, ठीक है ना. इट ऑल डिपेंड्स. सी, जस्ट बिकॉज यू आर इन इंडिया, सिंगापुर इज ईस्ट ऑफ यू. इफ यू आर इन सैन फ्रांसिस्को, सिंगापुर इज वेस्ट ऑफ यू. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए सिंगापुर कहां है? वेस्ट में है. तुम्हारे लिए सिंगापुर ईस्ट में है. ठीक है. चलो, ये चीज समझ में आया. So the diagram was drawn to make you understand that force also needs something called direction. So force needs magnitude, force also needs something known as magnitude. Is all not enough, so we write we also need to specify direction. So an example would be force 5 Newton east. So this part is your direction and this part is your magnitude. And in grade 9 when you go, you will learn that those physical quantities which need to be specified both with magnitude and direction. Now you are learning higher end physics. Those physical quantities which need to be specified both with magnitude and direction, such quantities are known as vector quantities. इन्हें हम वेक्टर क्वांटिटी बोलते हैं. सर ये जानना जरूरी है? बिल्कुल है, तभी ना आप प्यार करोगे. आपकी मैम जब क्लास में पढ़ाएंगी तो आप खुद बोलना सर फोर्स हैज गॉट मैग्नीट्यूड एंड डायरेक्शन सो इट्स वेक्टर. तो कुछ क्वांटिटीज होते हैं which we only magnitude. Say for example, my age. What is my age? Sir, your age is 47 years south. Sounds odd? 47 years. How many grams of tomato did you buy? 1 kg. 1 kg north. So things like mass. Just see, mass. What is the mass of this bag? Sir, 1 kg. Only magnitude is sufficient. We don't say direction. Let's say, what is the, very good, yeah. What is the time? The time is 53 seconds. 53 seconds south नहीं बोलते हैं. What is the temperature in Hyderabad today? The temperature is 39 degrees Celsius. South नहीं बोलते हैं, 39 degrees. ऐसे quantities में क्या देख रहे हैं मजा चीज? ऐसे quantity में magnitude, yes, magnitude is sufficient, है ना? Direction is not needed. Such quantities are known as scalar quantities. This you will learn in grade 9. आप अभी सीख लो, क्या जाता है बस में बोलना 9th वाले को, ए वेक्टर क्या है? नया कोई आ गया वायरस के घोंसले में. In your bus you can say, hey, tell me what is a vector. I've just taught this to your 9th graders. 9th graders means Arav and your Glendale. Glendale means Jay. Jay को जानते हो?
Jay.
हाँ. Jay. You go and ask Jay tomorrow. Yeah, go and ask Jay. Kritik. Yeah, Kritik Singaraju, Jay, Angad. All these are, they've just learned this. So you go into bus and ask them. And Arav is in Phoenix Green. Phoenix के बस में जाके अरब को पूछ लो. वैभव you know? ज्यादा बस में हल्ला करेगा तो पूछो. What is scalar quantity? Sir has asked me. हाँ. What is vector? Understood? Vector quantities are quantities. ये आपको grade 8 में कोई नहीं पूछेगा. But if in my test if you write force is a vector quantity, मेरे तरफ से एक प्यार marks. Those are called extra marks. It's बच्चे ने सुंदर लिखा है. That is how he loves physics. Okay. So how many things we have learned. So are you clear with what is force? Are you clear with why we use the word interaction? कुछ ना कुछ होता है दोनों bodies के बीच में. इंटरैक्शन होने के लिए कितने बॉडी चाहिए? 2 बॉडी चाहिए. और उसका आउटकम कैसे दिखेगा? इट विल बी आइदर अ पुश और अ पुल, राइट? एंड दैट इज नोन एज फोर्स. सो फोर्स विल हैव अ पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन एज वेल एज अ लाइन ऑफ एक्शन. एंड द पॉइंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन विल ऑलवेज मूव अलोंग द लाइन ऑफ एप्लीकेशन. जैसा लाइन ऑफ एप्लीकेशन, मेरे इधर फोर्स दोगे तो मेरे यहाँ पे थोड़ी कुछ होगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा, है ना? इधर फोर्स दोगे तो इधर ही होने वाला है. ठीक है? जस्ट लाइक. नाउ सेकंड इज we learned how do you quantify force, because in physics everything is about measurement. Not only physics. If you want to improve anything, measurement is must. Why do you get a report card? So that you get to know what is your term 1 marks. सर मेरे तो हर साल मार्क्स घटते ही जाते हैं. जो भी है मेजरमेंट तो होता है ना. Just look, all of you must have experienced something like buying things on Amazon. If you buy things on Amazon, how do you know the thing is good or not? Star ratings, the number of reviews that you have got, the number of 5 stars. Suppose you go to a restaurant. Sometimes in a restaurant, till the food is being served to you, or say your food is over, bill नहीं आया, आपको एक form आता है. How did you like our ambience on a scale of 10? Good, very good, extremely happy, dissatisfied. Some smileys will be there. What they are trying to do, any subjective thing is not helpful in mathematics. What do I mean by that? How much does your parent love you? बहुत. What is that बहुत? If you are too tall, you will say बहुत. If you are a dork, you'll say बहुत. There is no measurement. I am very sad today. Is there a sadometer available in market? नहीं है. How sad are you? नहीं पता. She is honest. She is more honest. अरे आपको कैसे पता? कोई मीटर था क्या कि 5 इसको लगाया तो 6 बताया? So subjective things in physics do not have any role. That's why the restaurant, like if you go to a restaurant, the restaurant might have how do you rate our parking? So when we went to the restaurant, we found food is very good, ambience is good, service is good, parking was pathetic. We struggled, so we gave the restaurant 1 rating on parking. Later on, the restaurant starts doing all its analysis and they see we are losing lot of customers because of parking. हमारा खाना अच्छा है, सर्विस अच्छा है, एम्बियंस अच्छा है, हमें पार्किंग अच्छा करना चाहिए. Therefore, every subjective thing has to be converted to objective, means value oriented. और फिजिक्स में बहुत अच्छा, कैसा था खाना? स्वादिष्ट. How did you know? I licked all my 5 fingers. राक्षस थोड़ी हो कि 6 फिंगर है 6 लिक कर लोगे. Everyone licks. What is tasty to you may not be tasty to me. Therefore, physics में वैल्यू होना. तो ऐसे वैल्यू कैसे रहते हैं? There is a measured value and there is a unit. So the unit in physics that we use is known as Newton and the measured value is known as the magnitude. So ये force कितना था? 5 Newton. 5 Newton is the magnitude. लेकिन फिर हमने देखा magnitude काफी नहीं होता है. We also need to tell what is the direction. वरना पूरा force ही गलत लग जाएगा. Somebody says go and press this board. उसने क्या किया? इधर से press कर दिया, गया board ही खुल के गिर गया. Therefore, direction is also very important. So, if you don't program our Slapu robot properly, Slapu will not be able to slap. So, quantities which have both magnitude and direction are known as vector quantity. And there are certain quantities in physics you will get to learn more, which are known as scalar quantities. बस ये दो शब्द दिमाग में रखिए, vector and scalar. Vector है तो value भी बोलना पड़ेगा, direction भी बोलना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? समझ में आया? थोड़ा और आगे चले. Any questions so far? Hey you, I'm giving you a golden chance. Any question? और स्केलर क्वांटिटी और भी जानना है. जैसे आपका स्केलर क्वांटिटीज में वोल्टेज होता है. इस हमारे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वोल्टेज इज 220 वोल्ट. इसमें हम डायरेक्शन नहीं बोलते हैं. डिस्टेंस हो गया. यहां से दिल्ली कितनी दूर है? 1600 किलोमीटर्स. नहीं, वो दूसरा चीज है, वो डिस्प्लेसमेंट है. वो 9 में पढ़ेंगे. हाँ, वो 9 में पढ़ेंगे. वो डिस्प्लेसमेंट है. डिस्टेंस क्या होता है पता है? डिस्टेंस दो पॉइंट के बीच का measured distance, measured the path travel between an initial point to final point without any direction. If you want to learn distance and displacement properly, and if you have time with you, you can again go to my channel and there in playlist what should you see at CBSE grade 9 class 9. That is the grade who are 1 class above you. उनका भी एक ही क्लास हुआ है yesterday. So if you see that video, you will get to understand. वहां पे भी ऐसा रोबोट का एग्जाम्पल, वहां और सुंदर सुंदर एग्जाम्पल है. एवरी एग्जाम्पल इज डिफरेंट ग्रेड वाइज. वो 9th में है ना, वो बहुत सारा रोमांटिक एग्जाम्पल्स भी है वहां पे. अब तुम छोटे हो, तुम्हारे लिए वो एग्जाम्पल नहीं है. ठीक है? इज दिस अंडरस्टूड? ओके, राइट. नाउ नेक्स्ट. So we have understood what is scalar and vector, right? Now we now go back to that. In order for force to come into picture, there should be two bodies. One body should exert force and one body should feel the force. So if I say this is body 1, this would be body 2, right? Have you understood? Therefore we used to say that between these two bodies there is always an interaction. We will now study more on this interaction. We will study more on this interaction. ठीक है? ये इंटरैक्शन के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. जैसे थप्पड़ मारना. Body 1 is the palm. Body 2 is the cheek of the guy who has been so-called the volunteer. Nobody would like to be the volunteer because one slap will fall on somebody. So there is an interaction between body 1 and body 2. If you see a slap being given to somebody, my examples are very weird, but you'll understand. If you give a slap, then you will see body 1 will have a direct contact with body 2. Isn't it? There's a contact. If you see the way you opened the door of my house, there was contact. So this interaction can be either contactual. Contactual मतलब body 1 and body 2 come in physical contact. There will be a contact between the two body. For example, the best example is one slap. Padas. Body 1 is your cheek. Or it can be, now this is where it starts getting interesting, it can be non-contactual also. सर ऐसा कैसे होता है? होगा ना? मैग्नेट 1, मैग्नेट 2, नॉर्थ पोल, साउथ पोल, नॉर्थ पोल, साउथ पोल, इतना तो पढ़ा ही होगा. Unlike poles attract. So don't you think these two magnets will be attracted to each other? Yes or no? This magnet is me. Am I feeling a force? Yes. Getting pulled towards that. Is this magnet? Now I am this magnet. Am I feeling a force? Yes. As if I am being pulled or somebody is being pushing me. तो यहाँ पे भी there is a body 1, there is a body 2. There is some interaction which has happened. What is the interaction? The interaction is the closeness of the two unlike poles. Have they resulted in a force? Yes, they have resulted in a force. My question is, ये force पैदा करने के लिए contact हुआ था क्या? No contact. Non-contactual forces. Force contactual भी हो सकते हैं, non-contactual भी हो सकता है. Like a LKG child, right after getting down from the bus, mother मामी ऐसे दौड़ के जाता है. क्या हुआ? Love is the attraction. नॉन कॉन्टेक्चुअल फोर्स. और अगर मूवी में देखोगे तो हीरो हीरोइन एकदम गाना चल रहा है, दौड़ के एक दूसरे की तरफ जा रहे हैं. नॉन कॉन्टेक्चुअल फोर्स. एंड सपोज यू हेट समबडी, देन आल्सो यू रन अवे फ्रॉम दैट पर्सन. रिपल्सिव फोर्स, नॉन कॉन्टेक्चुअल फोर्स. सो डू यू अंडरस्टैंड? Forces can be contactual as well as non-contactual. One of the best example of non-contactual force. See, this is a tree and below it our friend Samarth is sleeping. A ripe mango which has just ripened and appear हो गया है, ठाप से इसके सर के ऊपर गिरता है. ऐसा क्यों हुआ? ऐसा इसलिए हुआ कि both of them are on a planet whose name is Earth. और अर्थ के पास क्या होता है? ग्रेविटी. नॉन कॉन्टेक्चुअल फोर्स. ये नाशपति इसके सर पे गिरा ठपास से. नॉन कॉन्टेक्चुअल. सो नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड. कॉन्टेक्चुअल हम इसे और पढ़ेंगे डिटेल में. So forces can be created either in a contactual manner, और contactual interaction से जो force आएगा उन्हें हम कहते हैं contact forces. So somebody will ask you, define contact forces. Contact forces are those forces which are an outcome of an interaction which has happened due to two bodies which have come in physical contact to each other. What is the example? Ma'am slap. ऐसा मत लिख दो, वैसे वो correct है. इसका best example है muscular force. Muscular force. Muscular force माने एक तरह का slap का ही बात हो रहा है. Pushing this block. We are not supposed to write slap as our example. खराब दिखता है. Pushing the block. Muscular force. Got it? Any other contactual force you can say?
Contactual force.
Any other non-contactual force? Gravity. Okay. Non-contact से आएगा हमारा non-contact forces. Non-contact forces में body are not in contact. So non-contact forces can be gravity and magnetic force. Magnetic force. Also there is one more force. I don't know whether you know, little bit of electricity if you have studied. A positive charge and a negative charge are also attracted towards each other because they are unlike charges. So we say electrostatic force. Very good. Electrostatic force. देखो हर चीज को deeply पढ़ोगे तो कितना कुछ है. Hey, who made that noise? Because I'm not worried about making that noise. Don't lean on that. Means the stool on which you are sitting, उस पे lean मत करो. हाँ, IKEA clearly writes no leaning because it will immediately fracture. I will lose the price of the stool. I don't mind. You will immediately have a back fracture. That's the last thing. फिर यहाँ वर्ट आ जाएगा, पूरा क्लास बंद कर देगा, ऑफिस बंद करो. नहीं किसी ने, one day one boy was actually leaning on that. Don't lean on that. दैट इज नॉट मेंट फॉर लीनिंग, उसमें लिखा ही हुआ है डोंट लीन, गिरोगे। लास्ट थिंग आई वांट इन यू गाइस इज इंजुरी। यहां से पढ़ के गधे बन के जाओ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, लेकिन इंजोर होके मत जाओ, रात को मैं सो नहीं पाऊंगा फिर। नॉन कॉन्टैक्ट फोर्सेस, नॉन कॉन्टैक्ट फोर्सेस आर ग्रेविटी, मैग्नेटिक एंड इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक। नाउ लुक एट मैग्नेटिक एंड इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक थोड़ा सा, ओके लेट्स सी। मैग्नेटिक फोर्स, मैग्नेटिक फोर्स, ओके आई हैव अ नॉर्थ पोल, राइट, कैसे ऐसे नहीं, I have a bar magnet, you know bar magnet. As students of science, next time when you go to a stationery shop, some things you should have in your own home. होना चाहिए आपके पास, एक डिजिटल थर्मोमीटर होना चाहिए, एक मैग्नेटिक कॉम्पास होना चाहिए, एक बार मैग्नेट होना चाहिए, these are some, एक प्रिज्म होना चाहिए। नेक्स्ट टाइम ऑन बर्थडे if somebody tells you क्या चाहिए, एक प्रिज्म ला के दीजिए। They are not costly, in Amazon they are cheap, but you can do many wonderful things with those. Then only you will love science. One prism you should have, one magnetic compass, some bar magnets you should have. So this is a bar magnet aligned in such a way that this combination is north-south, and there is another bar magnet which is north-south. बोलो तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? रिपल्शन होगा, यानी कि ये मैग्नेट इस तरफ धकेलेगा, ये इसमें, तो इस केस में रिपल्शन होगा। एनीवन हैज अ डाउट इन दिस? अच्छा, नेक्स्ट कॉम्बिनेशन में इसको नॉर्थ साउथ बनाया और इसको नॉर्थ साउथ बनाया, अब क्या होगा? एकदम MDH मसाले, खींचा चला है, अट्रैक्शन। सो दिस इज अट्रैक्शन। देयरफॉर मैग्नेटिक फोर्सेस कैन बी ऑफ टू नेचर्स, रिपल्सिव, तो हम यहां पे क्या लिखेंगे? मैग्नेटिक फोर्सेस दो प्रकार के होते हैं। बताओ बच्चों क्या प्रकार के होते हैं? रिपल्सिव है ना, और दूसरा है अट्रैक्टिव। समझे अनन्या? क्लियर? आ जाओ अभी इलेक्ट्रिकल फोर्सेस को भी देखते हैं। कैसे देखेंगे? हमारे पास पहले था एक पॉजिटिव चार्ज, हमने लाया पॉजिटिव चार्ज, दोनों में रिपल्शन हुआ, फिर हमने पॉजिटिव लिया नेगेटिव लिया, दोनों में अट्रैक्शन हुआ। वाओ! तो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स कैसे होते हैं? इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स, ये भी फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स में पूछता है आपको, ये भी दो तरह के होते हैं, रिपल्सिव एज वेल एज अट्रैक्टिव। क्लियर बच्चा? लेकिन मैग्नेट ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स कैसा रहता है? कैन इट बी एवर पॉसिबल दैट आवर समर्थ विल गो एंड हिट द नाशपति? समर्थ विल गो एंड हिट द नाशपति, इज इट पॉसिबल? नो, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स इज ऑलवेज अट्रैक्टिव। ये ट्रू और फॉल्स में पूछ लेता है, तो लिख लो बच्चा, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स कैसा होता है? Always attractive. So, how do we find them? We actually have seen examples of three type of non-contactual forces. What are the three type of non-contactual forces you learned about? Gravity तो नहीं बोलते हैं, gravitational. किसी को पूछो ना, आज बेटा क्या खाया? मैगी खाया, खाया लेकिन टॉप रामेन, नूडल्स खाया। नॉट ग्रेविटी, ग्रेविटेशनल। ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स कैसा रहता है? ऑलवेज अट्रैक्टिव। अगर पका हुआ आम पक गया तो वो विष्णुदेव के पास नहीं जाएगा, हमारे ही हाथ में गिरेगा, है ना। और अगर हम सामर्थ्य को ऐसे करके छोड़ दे, वो नीचे ही टपकेगा, ऊपर नहीं जाएगा। ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स इज ऑलवेज attractive, whereas magnetic and electrostatic forces can be attractive as well as repulsive. बच्चा ये क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं बताओ? बहुत पढ़ लिया लेकिन, हाँ, very easy to learn and very easy to forget. Yes, Harshit darling, how boring the class has been. सो गया वो? हर्षित, हर्षित बेटा, hey Harshit, what happened? You slept off or what?
No, sir.
I was calling you 3 times.
Sir, actually my internet works.
Oh, you know, during COVID times, I had these grade 8 students. So what they used to do? क्या हुआ? Why are you listening him? Huh? Again, playing guitar with my mind. So some interesting thing. During COVID days, when we used to have online classes, so there were some senior students. So whenever I asked them question, suppose I am asking a guy, yes, can you tell me that answer? That guy used to behave like this. Define resistance. That boy will answer in this manner. See, sir, resistance is the, to show as if his net connection has hung up, but behind him the ceiling fan is rotating. So they used to be so clever. Anything, sir, internet is slow. They find resistance, beta. Sir, resistance is the power. But fan is rotating. कातिल कितना भी चालाक क्यों ना हो, कुछ ना कुछ सुराग छोड़ के जाएगा. तो ये समझ में आया. अब लास्ट बात कर लेते हैं कॉन्टैक्ट फोर्सेस के बारे में. कॉन्टैक्ट फोर्सेस, सो वी हैव रिटन अ लॉट ऑन द बोर्ड, आई डोंट वांट टू रब इट. वन फोर्स इज मस्कुलर फोर्स. मस्कुलर फोर्स मींस द फोर्स दैट इज exerted by you to do any work where your muscles are in action. If you are going in a gymnasium and you try to lift a barbell, then also muscular force. If you are doing a bench press, you are doing muscular force. If you are a mazdoor and you are pulling carts, then also muscular force. If you are slapping someone, muscular force. If you have got slapped by someone, muscular force. Yeah.
Getting snapped to muscular force.
Oh, I slap you by what, my hand, na? That has got muscles and your cheek has got muscles. So the force that you get on your cheek when you are being slapped is known as muscular force. Do you want demo? Okay, very good. Number 2 is frictional force. Anyone has any idea of friction? Friction is what, you know? Friction is actually a dushman. Dushman of motion. Friction is something which will always oppose motion. Ananya beta, go and get something from Ratnadev. Not now, I'm watching TV. Something that आलसीपना बोलते हैं ना. So friction कैसा रहता है? देखो, say for example, I ask, मेरे ये हाथ को ये glide my hand on this particular board. Am I able to glide it straight away? नहीं, थोड़ा force देना पड़ रहा है. Something is, there is a contact between me and the board which is actually acting against it. Friction बहुत जरूरी चीज है. अगर friction नहीं होता तो हाथ लगाते ही चला जाएगा. Like when I was in grade 6 or something like that, I was very, very naughty. So we used to watch Asian Games and Olympic and all. We used to see skating. Skating is an event, right? So दिल कर रहा था we also should skate. घर में कहाँ skating होगा? So when my mom is out, I used to wear socks and put talcum powder on the floor and then try to do skating. So when my mom comes back from the house, from outside, she used to see I am on the floor with a swollen leg and I'm crying. First thing she used to do is give me 2-3 more thrashings, and after that medication. Understood? So why did I put talcum powder? I wanted to reduce the friction. When you open a door, there are some doors which will open as horror show. Those doors open like that. So what you should do? Take some coconut oil or some oil and grease the hinges. So if you grease the hinges, what are you doing? You're making the movement between them very smooth. New shoe. This happens with a lot of girls, like when you wear ballerina or pump shoes and you are unable to put your leg inside, you will receive a lot of cuts. So what is the best way? Put some Vaseline on your heel area. Heel means this portion. Then you will find that your leg is getting inside that particular shoe very easily. है ना? नहीं तो आपको कटेगा. Friction. Friction is anything that opposes motion. Friction कैसा रहता है? For example, ये बॉडी, अभी हम इस बॉडी को फोर्स दे रहे हैं. बॉडी किस तरफ मूव करना चाहिए बताओ तो. इसके बाद छोड़ देंगे, ज्यादा नहीं. Which side the body should move? Force is being applied this side. You learnt it. The point of application moves along. So where should the body move? East. The body should move east. लेकिन ये बॉडी ना पहले ईस्ट नहीं जाएगा. दिस बॉडी विल बी समथिंग लाइक आवर अनन्या. अनन्या, गो टू रत्नदेव. आई एम वाचिंग टीवी नाउ. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अनन्या विल शो सम फ्रिक्शन. द फ्रिक्शन फोर्स विल ऑलवेज ओपोज मोशन. सो फ्रिक्शन कैसा रहता है? ओपोजेस मोशन. बट अनन्या's mother wants her to go to रत्नदीप. अनन्या बोला ना रत्नदीप जाओ, आई एम वाचिंग. अनन्या जैसे वो डांट दिया, immediately अनन्या starts going. That means her mother has to give a force which is taking care of the friction. 5 न्यूटन में बच्चा जाना चाहिए था, पर her mother will give 5.5. 0.5 is friction. So Ananya's mother has to account another 0.5. ये इसको डांटेगा, चुप जाओ, तो जाना शुरू कर. Have you seen when people move big boxes? जोर लगा के. Once it starts moving, after that it is very easy. Have you seen in crowded markets, people are coming with lot of things, and if you stand in front of them, those mazdoor will say, "Hurry, समझ जाइए." Because if he stops, again he will have to pull it with lot of force. Just imagine you are pushing a box. Initially to push the box is difficult. एक बार बॉक्स मूव हो गया ना, फिर स्वी जाते रहता है. फिर जब आप रुक जाओगे, फिर से पुश. तो फ्रिक्शन हर बार आएगा जब भी आप मोशन देने की कोशिश करोगे. एक बार मोशन आ गया, is there friction? There is, but it has been overcome. While going to Ratnadeep also, her face will be like this, but she'll keep on going because पीछे से 5.5 गिर रहा है ना, हो जाएगा अपने आप. Clear? So friction is another contact force, and this contact force happens between two surfaces. Any two moving surfaces will have friction, and sometimes friction is very necessary. We are playing badminton. I am supposed to pick up a shuttle right in front. You put your shoe and टक करके उठा लेते हो. You need huge friction between your sole and the court. If at that time there is no friction, your leg will slide away. That's इसीलिए friction को क्या बोलते हैं पता है? Friction is a friend and also a foe. सोचो, आज अगर फ्रिक्शन नहीं होता हम तो चल ही नहीं पाते, चलते ही स्लिप कर जाएंगे, खड़ा होते ही गिर जाएंगे. Imagine you make your bathroom completely slippery with oil and try standing on that bathroom. Can you stand? No, because you are not getting grip. A weightlifter wants to come and lift weight. पहले चौक वॉक लगा लेता है. Friction. Have you seen cricket gloves? The cricket gloves will always have a rough surface on this side and the bat has a rough grip. Friction चाहिए. Friction नहीं होगा नहीं. Bowler. When the bowler is taking the stride and putting the leg, if his leg is unable to grip the ground, वो तो बॉल ही नहीं करेगा. ऐसे मिकी डोनाल्ड मूवी में जैसे दिखाता है ना, ऐसे चला जाएगा. So friction always opposes motion. We will learn, there's a complete chapter on friction. We will learn that friction opposes motion and friction is a contactual force. लास्ट रिवीजन आज का क्या क्या पढ़ा? वी लर्न अबाउट फोर्स. फोर्स क्या होता है? एक्सटर्नल इन्फ्लुएंस है. दो बॉडी होना जरूरी है. उसके आउटकम क्या होगा? पुश और पुल. फोर्स को मेजर करने के लिए हमें मैग्नीट्यूड की भी जरूरत होती है, डायरेक्शन को भी. सो फोर्स इज नोन एज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. दोस क्वांटिटीज वेर यू ओनली नीड मैग्नीट्यूड आर नोन एज स्केलर क्वांटिटी. फोर्सेस यूनिट इज नोन एज न्यूटन, 5 Newton, and you need to give a direction. We also learned about something called point of application of force. We also learned about something called line of action. और line of action बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि the point of application always moves along the line of action of the force. Just you want to throw the ball, basketball, आप basket करते हो ना, line of action किधर देते हो? basket की तरफ, force उस तरफ. Ball is your point of application. ball बिल्कुल वैसे जाता है. Then we saw that interaction can happen between two bodies either being in contact or not in contact. If they are in contact, they are called contactual forces. Examples are muscular force, frictional force. If they are not in contact, examples are gravitational force, then electrostatic force, magnetic force. Gravitation is always an attractive force. Arm will always come down, down will not go up, है ना? Whereas magnetic and electrical forces can be repulsive or attractive depending upon the nature of the poles or the charge. The next class is on Friday. We again do mathematics. ठीक है? The Rangarang Karikram ends here, and please do dislike on the channel and throw a lot of rotten tomatoes. But end of the day, please study and come. And you know your task. Yes, I am right now using it only for marking. This object is of dual use. You understand what is this? This has dual use. You know what is dual use means? Anything which can be used for two purposes.
My dad is using on me.
Okay. So you are resistant to it. Shall I combine two and then use it on you? Achha. Chalo. Good night, guys. Catch you tomorrow. Oh no, day after tomorrow. Right. Bye bye.